So in this video I'm just going to go over how you're going to make a splash screen and an icon screen or an icon image, and then package your project for submission. Now the first thing I would do is, just because we might be deleting some files in your project, is to make a copy of your project folder. So I've got my copy here, and basically what I'm going to go to do is delete some of the backup files for this. You can see my project's 120 meg, and if I go into the folder under saved and auto saves, you'll probably find that there's quite a bit in here, okay, and you probably want to delete that. So I'll probably just delete that game folder, and then in backup I'll also select all the files in here and I'll delete those. So again, you only do this in the copied project folder, okay, that you've made. And then if I go back out, you'll probably see that it's a lot smaller now yet, so it's only under 60 meg. I'm going to open that up in Unreal 4 now. So you might have to launch Unreal 4 from here rather than, my project section. Browse, desktop, tease test, and then I'll open up that project file. So I've already set up my splash screen, and I'll show you how to do yours now. So the first thing you want to do is to go into the settings folder, or settings icon, and into project settings. In the first tab here is the description. So this is where you kind of write your company name. So if I put MBC, you can leave the distinguished name blank. Homepage, so if you've got like a web page or anything like that, and then your email address in here. This project thumbnail doesn't really matter, only matters for this here section in the launch program. So you can change that if you wish, but I'm just going to leave it as is. You can write a description of your game here. You can change a project name, leave the project version, copyright notice, license in terms of privacy policy. You can leave that as well. Under this displayed, this is kind of like what would be displayed at the top of the window if you're playing it in a Windows version. Again, you can leave that blank, or you can just type in the name of the game. In maps and modes, so this is kind of where you want to set up what level starts, okay, when you play the game. So if you've got a main menu level, that will be the level that you use. So in this here one, I can choose mine to be main menu, a main menu for both the editor startup map or the game default map. For the editor one, I probably don't want to start up in the menu each time, so I would probably just, my main level, I would probably open that first. Default game mode, you can leave that as is, and the rest of the settings you can leave as is as well. If we scroll on down though, and we go to the Windows platform section, this is where we're going to start introducing our own editor splash, game splash, and our own icon as well. If I hover over these, it'll tell me the dimensions I have to save them in. So 600 by 200, and you'll also notice at the end of its name it's a .bmp, okay? And that's the same for the game splash and the editor splash. In the game icon, okay, it's 256 by 256, and it's a .ico, okay, which is going to be a bit of an issue, but we've got a workaround. So in Photoshop, I made my splash / editor screen, and I saved it as a BMP. When I was saving it as a BMP, I made sure that it was 24-bit, okay? So that's important, that it's 24-bit. So you want to make sure that the dimensions are 600 by 200 pixels, and it's 24-bit when you're saving it as a BMP. The icon is a bit different. So I saved this because I wanted to have transparency in the back. I saved it as a PNG, okay? And when I saved it as a PNG, I made sure that in the compression settings, okay, I chose none or /fast. So when you're saving that, make sure that you have those options for your splash and your icon. Now, since we can't save out as an ICO file in Photoshop, what you need to do then is go to this website, okay, icoconvert.com, and basically all you have to do is choose your PNG file that you just saved. Click on upload. You can leave the crop because you probably should have properly cropped it in Photoshop. Click on this second style. Click on this ICO for Windows 7, 8 with Vista or XP, and then convert, okay, and then that will give you a link then to download your icon and save it. And that's it. Back in Unreal, all you have to do then is click on this choose a file kind of 3-dot line, and then you can choose your splash screen, choose your icon screen. In terms of packaging then, all you have to do is go to File, Package Project, Windows, 64-bit, and for testing purposes I'm just going to save it on my desktop. I'm going to make a new folder and I'll call this Project Package. Press OK. It may take a while, it's just depending on how complex your project is, but it shouldn't take that long. And once that's done, you'll find your project will be sitting in that folder that you've chosen. So mine was in the test folder, Windows No Editor, and you'll see it'll be using the icon that I set up. When I start it up, it'll also have the splash screen as well, and it should go into the first level that you've kind of set up. So your main menu should be that first level. One other thing of note is that if it doesn't work, it could be because of this simple option a lot of people overlook. You first of all need to have Visual Studio 2015 installed, but you should also install it by making sure that it has these two aspects in it. By default it doesn't install these. So a way around that is to go into your Program and Features section of your computer, search for Visual Studio Community. You can do that up here in the top right hand corner and select Change, okay? And what you want to do then is hit the Modify tab and make sure that you've got Common Tools installed, and also under Programming Languages make sure that you've got Common Tools for Visual C++ installed as well. So those two things, make sure that you've got ticked. Hit Next and then it will install those for you. That's only if you get an error when you are compiling the game. Usually in the school labs or the university labs it will work okay, but I've found that when I'm at home or using it in my office that I need to have these options installed.